shit, Sarah. All day. Hell yeah.
Arm wrestling's about to take place.
Yeah.
This weekend, we know you got a big match coming up on Saturday. But before we touch on your match, I just wanted to get your predictions and kind of what you're expecting from the other couple of matches going down on the main card. So we got March 19th. We got this Saturday at the Monster Factory. 5 p.m. Central Time is going to start the undercard. And then at 7 p.m. Central Time, pay-per-view main card, which you could go over to Michael Todd's YouTube, get your membership over there, and you could purchase the pay-per-view there. So the first match they got set up for that day is we got Don Underwood, and he's going to be pulling BJ Fakakis right hand. So kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that match.
Man, both of them have just sort of come back. If BJ can absorb Don's hit, I think if BJ stops Don's hit, because that's always been Don's forte was his hit, I think BJ can come back and win it. But the question is going to be, can BJ do it? I haven't seen either one really arm wrestle a lot. I know they have, but I don't sit on YouTube and watch all these matches. I know Don's had a couple of bad outings overall, but I think it's because he's still got to work on his speed and some power back. So let's see how it goes. If I was to predict, I'd probably go with BJ. Right. And BJ, sorry, I'm lousy in Vegas, so if I say your name and you lose, don't blame me.
Yeah, so recently I just had BJ was at our event in Washington State. He pulled a super match against Devin Mackin, and BJ got the win that day. He was looking tremendously strong and all. So very interested to see BJ square up against Don Underwood. I know Don's been nursing, I think, a hip recovery or whatever. And, I was talking to Don recently, and he said he's coming back hard. So I'm expecting some fireworks in that match.
Yeah. I would expect the fireworks. And like I said, I think it's going to come down to that initial hit.
We got your big match coming up. We know you're going against Paul Lin on Saturday, right hand. And just kind of want to get your thoughts on that and find out what you've been doing to prepare for this match.
Paul Lin's going to crush me 3-0.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, Ron, what weight are you going to be coming in at?
I'll be in the mid 240s. I'm not dieting for nothing. I ate like a pig because my first match was to pull Effie at 115. So I ate like a pig, and I got up. I came in and weighed over 250 that day. And I don't like it. I'd rather stay in the low 240s. Unless there's serious money, you'll never see me probably under 240.
How come you don't feel comfortable at the 250? What's the difference?
Start feeling heavy. We got heart. It's just a lot of mental issue when I start getting too heavy. We got heart issues in our family and stuff, so I like to keep my weight down some. I don't want to pick up bad habits of too many. I have enough bad habits. I don't need to pick up any more by overeating. So,
did you get to watch Paul Lin's last match with John Brzenk?
Yeah, I watched it a couple of times just to see where he likes to go mainly. So I don't see much change in how he attacked John and me. But when it comes to Paul's got a pretty good team. Paul's got a great work ethic. I know he hasn't been sitting around. He's going to come in ready. My biggest thing is the first couple of weeks I got back, I couldn't do anything. It was rest, recover, and rest. And actually, probably still more on a rest and recovery. Last week I was in the gym and I actually was lifting pretty good. Things started feeling pretty good. So, and now this week again, more rest. So, and rest sometimes isn't a bad thing. It's sometimes pretty good. So we'll just see how it plays off. I know I'm going to have to hit a little bit quicker. But I don't think my hit were too bad pulling Ziri. So I think if I come in fired up and I manage to hit the goal, I think I'll do all right.
Now, how are you in shape compared to East versus West? Are you in better shape now, or you're about the same or under that?
I would say I'm about the same. A lot depends. Like I said, my training had to be different because after pulling Zuri, my body was wore out. And on travel and a holiday one like that, you wore out. So for like 2 weeks, I mean, I think that one day Angie beat me here on the table a couple of days after we got back. I mean, but the other day I was in the gym and I was doing some lifts and I'm pulling on the straps and the cables. I don't think 5 weeks I'm going to lose anything. I think rest over those 5 weeks will actually make me stronger. The Zuri match could have helped me out a lot if I rest properly and not too much. I'm at an age with my workouts. If I take too much time off, it hurts me. But at the same time, you can't overtrain either. So I think I got it pretty much down. I think I'll be in pretty good shape.
Let me ask you, Ron. That brings me a question. When you travel across seas and everything to compete, have you figured out a formula that works for you as far as dealing with jet lag and nutrition and all that?
Now, this time was probably better because I'm older and more mature. Usually, when I always flew overseas, it's like, how many beers can I have? Let's party and have a good time and take it as it comes. I think my jet lag was really good at this one. Just tried to keep your sleep my same sleep pattern. Like if it's don't go to sleep, don't go to bed till like 8, 9 o'clock, no matter how tired you are, and then try to go to bed and get up at the same time. If you try to keep your same pattern, you should do all right. But I don't think I was affected too much in Turkey.
How long before the match did you arrive in Turkey?
We got there Thursday night, so almost 48 hours before the match.
Wow, so that's got to be really tough on the body. Just that time change alone has got to be hard.
Yeah, I think the worst time change is when I come back home.
Now, what about nutrition when you're there? Do you have like a set thing that you do for the day of competition?
Nah, the problem with that is, and that's why I'm a firm believer that if Zuri was to come here, I would have beat Zuri. Only because, not because a whole lot, because that match was so close. I think it had something to do with, and I don't know how long he got there and how much his diet would change. But to me, some of it had to be pretty close to the same. But there was a big diet change for me because you can't carry everything you want. And the sleep, there are different changes. So I think on close matches, when it's at your home, on your home court, it definitely an advantage. And I would have to give Turkey Zuri's home court advantage. And that's not saying I'd beat him real easy. I think I would have had just a little more fire being here. So yeah, the nutritional part, rest part, it all plays a little bit, but it's not your only nemesis. So
Do you take a pre-workout or anything before your match? Is there any kind of like system you have set up, or you just you do the same thing all the time?
no, I don't touch the pre-workout. I've done that a couple of times years ago and it never did me any good.
Okay.
So I just sort of stay away from a lot of that high energy stuff. Because if you don't time it just right, you could be up and down before your match even gets there. So I like to keep it more on the natural level. The biggest thing I got to do, which I didn't do for Effie, I didn't warm up at all. I went down, played a little bit, but I was cold. I do better when I have a good pump on my arm. And
Now, Ron, what do you do for your warm-ups?
If I can get on table with somebody for a while, or straps would be really good. But
Like, how long do you normally do just to get warmed up?
not long, 5-10 minutes here or there. Depending on how long you start. Do a little pulling throughout, just keep your arm in motion. I never really, played too much into studying how much I should or shouldn't do. I know at practice, if I get warmed up really good, like pull hard for a while, then take a 15-20 minute break, yeah, then I'm usually good for the rest of practice. So if I could get that down to a tournament level and mindset and figured out to a T, it'd be nice. But sometimes you don't always have that.
I was maybe a suggestion for you is maybe keep like a little journal or something for when you every time you go across seas, maybe just keep a formula of everything you eat and how you feel that day, and then each time you do it, you could just tweak it a little and get a little more precise with everything.
I'd forget where I wrote it.
I love it. So let's get back to the Monster Michael Todd big event we got going on. We kind of went off on a tangent there, but I wanted to get to the main event that we got going on. We got Robbie Topi going against Monster Michael Todd, left hand, best of 5. This one is a very interesting match for me, and I just wanted to get your predictions on this one.
As I said the other day, a lot's going to depend how much Robbie comes in and weight wise. If Robbie comes in at 260 plus 270, I got to lean towards Robbie because I know what his left feels like. He is more natural lefty. Mike, I know, has been training pretty hard and he does feel good. The Michael Todd I saw in Turkey was not the Michael Todd I practiced. He just looked flat. He looked everything in Turkey. And that's not I'm not coming up with excuses for Mike, but it just looked way off. And Gennady, that I saw pulling Mike, was way different than the one I saw pull Hermes. He came in fired up pulling Mike, and he looked as flat as Mike did pulling Hermes. And that's just what I got out of it. And I think Mike didn't do himself a lot of good. He's been practicing, trying to stay into that hook more. But I think when he got into the game of a war, he should have went with what he naturally is good at. I think if he would stay more natural, he possibly would have gave a little more to it. So I think he was a little nervous going to something he's never really. You can practice something, but unless you get into a heated battle, you don't know how good it's going to work, and you can start questioning yourself. But if Robbie comes in heavy, I got to lean towards Robbie. But Mike, I know you just can't never count Mike out either.
Yeah, Robbie Topi, I got to see Robbie in Reno when I first begun 2 years back, and I didn't know him then, but after that day, I never forgot him. I mean, this dude just dominated everybody. I mean, he looks like a bodybuilder. I mean, the dude is just jacked as all hell. And, he is the man left hand. So this is definitely going to be a serious test for Monster Michael Todd. But like you said, you never could push Monster Michael Todd out. All the work he's putting in. He's definitely got that chip on the shoulder from his last loss. So he's going to come in very determined on this match.
Yeah. Well, the reason I mentioned Robbie's weight is somebody told me that he was trying to bring his weight back down to like 250 or something. So I don't know how much power he'll lose if he actually comes back down in weight. But I know when I pulled him, what was that, 2 years ago, he pushed his weight up to 270. I mean, he was making transformations month to month that his teammates were telling me about. He didn't want to lose to Ron Bath. And I hit his left and he didn't move. I mean, his left was solid. And he's given Cody Merritt some wars left-handed. So I know his left is legit. And Mike hasn't really had it tested. We haven't seen Mike's left a whole lot. So it will be a telling tale.
And if you said Rob Topi's giving Cody a match, I mean, that's top world class right there. Two amazing pullers. So I also wanted to know, what is your thoughts on Monster Michael Todd from here on out with his right hand? Do you think he's going to stay in the super heavyweight, or do you think he's going to possibly go down a weight class? Where do you think he's going to go from here?
I can't say too much. I can't speculate too much. I don't see Mike going down in weight to the next lower weight class. He's going to end up staying a super heavyweight. He's got to reevaluate himself. Right now, I think the best thing for him to do is take some super matches that are fitting for him, enjoy it, and see where he goes. He's got to start also facing the fact, he's going to be a good arm wrestler, great arm wrestler, and he'll upset a lot of people, but he is starting to push at upper age. And a lot of these guys are coming in at 30, 40, in their 30 to 40s, and they're weighing up near 300 pounds. It gets a lot tougher. So I think health-wise, talking with Mike, he's more concerned about staying healthy the rest of his life. He knows he had that shot and he had to win that last match to really try to get it. So I just per talking with him, I think he's understanding. He don't know if he'll ever get to that ranking again of number one. So, but he still wants to have fun arm wrestling, and there's still a lot of good matches for Mike to have. We put too much effort for a small sport on trying to be number one. I think until we get a great fan base, it's good just to show good, hard fought matches like Bath and Zuri, and let it. Yeah.
I think for Monster Michael Todd, and I just want to give Monster Michael Todd a lot of praise. I love the guy and everything, but I think he should just get back to, like you said, just having fun, arm wrestling more. Instead of just having 1 or 2 matches, a year or whatever, just get back out there. And I think that's kind of what he's doing. He's getting out there with his left, and I know he's got another match coming up, East versus West, number 3. So yeah, just have fun again, brother. Do what you did. That's what got you to the top in the beginning.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%.